Before we get too carried away, for Adorama TV, hold on, we gotta open this up a little bit.
So you guys remember Ted, right? Yeah, we had to hit you guys twice last trade show because you did something cool. Then you came out with something even cooler towards the end.
Yes, we did.
And then we heard rumblings of this, the 600D. You had the 120, the 300, now 600 with this monster pack. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. So this right here, of course, the Aputure 600D. By the way, we don't do 2 releases just because we want to have fun and tease people with 2 releases. There's a clear distinction between releases that are coming out in 3 months and releases that actually we're working on and just want to show people the future of where the company is going. So,
no, you guys always think heavy and you go fast and you come out with things that aren't just thrown together. You thought about them, but you're excited about them, so you announce them. So we get you. I hear you. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. So these kinds of things, it's really to show people, hey, future's coming. This is what we're going in the direction of. This is like an early prototype, but we want to hear comments. We want to hear feedback. We want to hear what people like you guys are talking about. So it really does shape the way that the product goes. First thing first, 600 watts of raw LED power. That is about the equivalent to a 4.5K to 5K tungsten light. Again, in the past, you couldn't even plug that kind of thing into a household circuit.
But LED, so it's dimmable.
But LED, so it's dimmable. Unlike HMIs, which aren't dimmable, period. Tungsten lights, which also turn red when you dim them. This is absolutely dimmable. So you can power it down to 1% and it'll be, again, like a freaking 100 watt light. Or you can power it all the way up and get the raw intensity that you're looking for.
Not to mention Bowens mount.
Yes.
So you have all these attachments, including...
Bowens mount
I mean, come on.
Please, I just for the people out there
the modifiers are where it's at, right? And to have a Bowens mount means that you're open to almost everything, including a projection head, which is nuts. With this much power, which is crazy.
So if you aren't following the news, of course, we just released the Spotlight mount, which is actually the first professional kind of Spotlight Bowens mount adapter for the cinema industry. Again, we've got 19, 26, 36 degrees lenses. Cinema people don't actually know about the Bowens mount.
No, they don't. Well, I'm a stills guy. I like strobe. But you guys can check out the video on the projection head on our channel. We'll put a link in this below. Don't worry about it. But
he's always cooking up something.
We got this dimmable down to 1% right now. It's great, but it's also not putting out a lot of heat for the amount of power you're getting. Plus, it is completely silent.
In fact, one of the things that we actually did to make sure that we were working on is this is the first year that we've had straight up ASC and BSC DPs reaching out to me and saying, hey, love what you're doing in Aputure. Make us some toys for us. We want the higher end stuff. And that's a really weird request for us to get, especially because we're a company that kind of grew up from the beginning. But a couple of things that they asked for, a lot of the feedback has just been so head on. One of the things that they were talking about is a bunch of the guys that used the 300D Mark II. They're like, hey, I'm shooting a lot of narrative scenes. I'm backed up against a hallway in a hotel room or something like that. I don't care how fat the light gets. I want it to get shorter. So this is actually shorter than the 300D Mark II, but it's wider so you can back it up further. Number 2, as far as silence, they want it absolutely dead silent. 300D Mark II is quiet. This one's actually even quieter than
this is quieter than the 300 Mark II.
You're sure not going to hear it, period.
Is this magnetic fan?
Yeah, so there's actually one, we were looking at the thermal industry. There's like 3 industries that we're looking at. It's like PCs, like military, and looking at different industries to see what we can bring to the cinema industry, because that's our job. So, the fan here is actually literally just came out like 2 months ago. It's like a totally new fan that just came out from the thermal management industry. That's why it's quieter. We can't take credit for that. But sourcing it, bringing it to the cinema industry.
You might as well just take it.
Yeah, why not?
But you got the handbrake, which I love.
Absolutely. So this makes sure your modifiers won't fall. It's already rear balanced so that if you put a heavy softbox, 8-foot dome or something like that.
Well, shorter lights like this are balanced. That's the other thing is the longer lights are just...
They get wobbly and weird.
And then you got to worry about the modifier you're putting on the other side. So but let's talk about this pack for a second. So we have 4 V mounts.
He's a chunky boy. He's straight up from Campbell's at this point.
It's still not that bad,
He's not that heavy, I know. And he's smaller than most HMI ballasts at this point as far as this output and intensity goes. 4 V-mount batteries will actually power this sucker. In the past, you couldn't plug this kind of light into a household circuit. Now you're powering them off the camera batteries, which is an insane thing.
Yeah, it is insane, actually.
It's ridiculous. I can't even imagine. As far as powering it off, if you have 4 310 batteries, which sounds crazy, but again, batteries like data, it just gets bigger and bigger and faster and cheaper. So if you have 4 310 batteries, you're going to get approximately 1 hour, 45 minutes of nonstop use. Again, that's insane to take in the forest. You can also power it off of just 2 batteries if you have high voltage. It's 28-volt batteries. Also, I'm just going to say this right now. Can't guarantee this for sure because, again, this is not a release.
Don't say it. Fine, say it. He was telling me before. I don't believe it, though, but...
I think by release, we're going to try to cut this thing in half. We're going to try to make it a lot lighter. You're actually going to only be able to use it with 2 batteries. We're going to have a separate battery breakout box if you want to use 4 batteries. But we think we can make this thing half the size. And if so... Man, this is like, first of all, it's already a carry-on light. You can take this onto a plane. It won't be a problem at all. But if that's the case, I mean, you can put this in a backpack.
No, 100%.
Put this into
Not only that, but you could sandbag it to a light. You could actually make this your counterweight,
absolutely,
which is a huge deal.
You already have the lightning clamp. This is something that I actually haven't mentioned in any other video. The lightning clamp that was on the 300D Mark II controller, this is already on the back of there too. So you can actually snap this onto a stand using that same clamp system that we have.
This is incredible. I mean,
we're getting excited.
I love how accessible you make high-end production for everybody. Indie is the way of the future right now, right? Like everybody's getting bigger production into smaller hands or into smaller ability in your hands, and you're creating the next level of that. Plus here, it's beyond the camera at this point. You're creating, the way it goes for me is lighting, then lens, then camera.
Yes!
That's the way it goes for me, man.
Why don't I meet more people? Yes, absolutely.
He doesn't watch my videos, clearly.
You know what? No, first of all, I do watch his videos. But any professional will tell you the same thing, too. They'll tell you over and over again, stop buying cameras and gimbals. I'm sorry, look, I'm a
it's what you're recording that's more important. And
100%.
But you have high fidelity at easy cost. And the more people can get going off the bat with their careers, the more experience they gain on a higher level and create higher level content. And that's where Aputure's at.
So if you want to get good, start working on lighting now. Seriously, I cannot emphasize this. The cameras will come and go, they'll change, they'll go up and down, but lighting, you work on that stuff now, the skills don't ever change. It's always the same type of lighting, it's always the same fundamentals.
Is this DMXable?
Feature. Yes, DMXable, 5-pin DMX. Also, app controllable too, so you can be able to control the entire thing off of your phone, dim it up and down, strike it up and down. It's in the same network. All Aputure lights are actually connected on a network. So
even with those light bulbs you showed us last time?
All the light bulbs, they're all connected, so if your phone dies, the network still exists, so you just tap into the nearest light and it'll pass all the directions.
So in theory, this could be my giant hardcore key light, and then I put all those light bulbs as practicals, and you have a whole Aputure system.
Yeah, and you can even have your on-camera light on that as well too, so you can just dim it.
Now you're just getting crazy. Calm down, calm down, sir.
I'm not getting crazy because, in fact, some of the guys that shot Miss Maisel actually reached out and they said, you know, we want to make sure that our on-camera lights, that you can dim them steplessly and with Luminaire built into them. So, you know what? This is something that absolutely we're working on. You're going to be able to have that same dimming control of your on-camera light. So if I'm doing a Steadicam shot and I punch in, I can live fade it down so it's not too overexposed as soon as I push in.
ACs, get ready for that one.
It's coming in. Yeah, but, ACs are not the pull light. No.
Fun fact, Miss Maisel was just filmed in front of Adorama in New York City like the last month maybe. Dude, so, you know, it's so connected, it's tight. Dude, this is insane. What are you thinking availability-wise?
Okay, availability-wise, absolutely Q1 2020. Well before NAB.
Okay.
Well before NAB.
Okay, so we'll have to check back in on this.
We are thinking, it's going to be probably around the end of February. That's the goal. I cannot say
That's
price
fast than
yet.
you think.
That's fast.
And price point, I'm going to guess we don't know yet.
No idea yet.
Okay.
But
I just had to get you to say it.
We're Aputure. We'll do the best we can. And for all the guys out there, I think, again, this is the first year that I've had seriously high-end people reaching out. Like some of the best DPs in the world have been reaching out, and it's been the best because we've gotten the best feedback there. But for all the low-end guys out there that maybe feel like, hey, Aputure, you're making bigger and bigger stuff, I don't need a 5K light, just wait. We're coming with some lower end stuff too, so we're kind of all over.
Yeah, but I think that's how it gets born, right? Is they see the lower end lighting having more features that are sellable rather than the quality, and then they go, well, if you can do that, why don't you just do that at a higher quality? And then they start poking at your brain, and then you start putting out stuff like this.
So lighting is fun, man.
Yeah, no, it's everything. This is where the creativity hits.
Yeah, okay, I'm nerding out, yeah.
No,
I think that's it. What else can I say about
I'm
this?
still exhausted from the last time I saw you, so we're going to cut it out. But, yo, man, I'm excited for this. We'll keep watching. I want to see if you can really cut this thing in half.
All right.
All right, and, you know, get us a unit.
We'll screw Seth into there in the bottom. It'll say 1/2 Seth.
Everybody in the comments, let me know if you think they can really cut this in half or not. I want to know if you think this can get cut in half.
Tell me right now we can do it. So, all
right, now tell Ted we need one of these. Get us one of these and we'll do stuff with it, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nuts.
For sure.
Congratulations, man. This is great.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for watching, guys.
Get that B-roll. Get that B-roll. So I'm at the Blackmagic booth with Bob, and Blackmagic has been really known for easy designs that are very affordable, that can do a lot of creative production, basically from a home to actual high production as well. But this, the ATM Mini, just seems like it's a solution for what's going on right now with live streaming.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. What we wanted to do is build a switcher for those that need a switcher but don't even know what a switcher is.
Okay.
So it has 4 HDMI inputs, and it has a USB output that can go to the web, so it'll show up as a 1080p webcam to any of the streaming services, and you don't have to worry about configuration. No matter what resolution you plug in, it just takes care of the rest.
Okay.
So it can get very much more elaborate if you're using our software, Atem software. So people that already know our our Atems will be able to use it, but this is to get people started straight away. We even have a chroma key so you can put some graphics on there.
That's awesome.
You know, you can cut between sources, or you hit the auto trans and it'll just do whatever the auto trans is between the sources, and then when you go to cut, then you're just going to cut. So, I mean, it's real easy. It's got 2 microphone inputs that you can use, but the idea is, yeah, you want to be able to put like one camera and maybe the output of a game or the output of a computer,
right,
and you can switch between them and just go straight to Skype or whatever.
Doesn't matter resolution or frame rates?
Right, it takes care of that.
Okay, so if I'm putting out a heavy frame rate out of a computer, it'll scale it?
Yeah, so you want to, you know, you want to be able to get it, well, it takes whatever the input is and corrects it for the output.
For the output rhythm. All right, great. So what about mic inputs?
So there's 2 mini jack inputs that you can put 2 mics in. So right here we have the ability to turn those mics on or off and lower the volume, and then each input has embedded audio that you can address to.
Well, what's great about this being a USB signal out is that it can basically go to almost any streamable software that people are already used to using for whatever they're doing, and now they can just elevate with more feeds.
That's exactly right. And when you go into the settings, it just looks like a webcam to any of the software.
Yeah, OBS and all that type of stuff.
Exactly.
And I'm sure plenty of people are familiar with OBS, Streamlabs, all that kind of stuff. And now you have actual hardware, which is super affordable, by the way. What are we looking at?
Yeah, $295.
Which is, for Switzerland, is kind of like, what? Very well done. Well, Blackmagic, this is a very hot item everybody's been talking about. We had to come over here and talk to you.
All right.
So before we get out of the Blackmagic booth and onto the rest of IBC, we heard about these new video recorder monitors, and there's some pretty interesting features about this. Can you run me through really quick?
Sure. So we have 2 new Video Assist 12G HDR models. There's a 7-inch and a 5-inch. This is a 7-inch model. So these can record HDR. We actually can record RAW, Blackmagic RAW, from a Canon C300 Mark II.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, and also a Panasonic EVS-1. So in Blackmagic RAW, which has been around a year now, we also have plugins for that now in Adobe and Media Composer. So this way people can work with it in whatever NLE they want. But the 2 monitors, they're $795 US for 5-inch and $995 US dollars for the 7-inch. As I said, they're 2,500 nit screens, they're super bright.
Yeah, that is nice.
Right, so it displays HDR and can record 12G with SDI and HDMI in and out.
Availability?
So these will be shipping November.
All right, this is pretty cool. I mean, to see that coming out of a Canon C300 with your codec is pretty interesting. A lot of people are loving that lossless codec that you guys have.
Exactly. So this really, you know, helps improve workflow.
Oh yeah, and it makes it very versatile across other brands. And maybe if you're already in a system, you can actually expand with your system as well.
That's right.
All right, very cool. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
All right, so we had to come to Atomos and see the legacy that is Jeremy. What's going on, man? How you been?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So the S1H came out. It's a remarkable piece of machinery. It's doing great things for cinema in the palm of your hand, but you found a way to unlock its full potential.
Yeah, and we did that with 6K 30p, up to 6K 30p, directly from the sensor over HDMI to ProRes RAW on a Ninja, which means you got 695 for a Ninja. I don't know how much is the S1H?
Yes.
Retail for?
It's about $4 grand.
So for $5 grand, including discs, etc., you can record 6K cinema.
At a full frame sensor, full readout, ProRes RAW.
ProRes RAW.
That's insane.
Which is now supported in Adobe and Avid, as well as Final Cut and Edius.
So it was iOS only. It was OS only, and now you're saying it's for Premiere. So
and Avid.
And Avid. Avid's big because that's huge for broadcasting. You know, CBS uses it here in the States.
And the drama productions, right? So now you can pick up one of these cameras, do that as the second and third, maybe hire a bigger sensor camera in, or not a bigger sensor, a bigger body camera.
Yeah.
But this will get 90% of what you need done.
So you've officially taken over and built everything onto another level.
Correct.
That's incredible. Not only this, but this is firmware?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a firmware update.
All right. And availability now, or?
Well, they're not shipping their camera, and the raw output comes, I think, end of the year.
Oh, that's right away.
But we're ready to go.
Okay.
So it's just waiting for the camera to output it.
So anyone that's got the S1H or waiting for their pre-order, you're basically ready to go for full potential of the sensor.
And it's a free update from us, and I believe it's a free update for the S1H.
Well,
are they charging for that? I don't know.
I don't want to say anything officially.
They don't tell me anything.
No.
I just develop stuff with them.
On top of this, you got the Neon series, right? And you got this huge beast over there. Can we take a look at this?
Let's go.
Let's go take a look. Come on. Excuse me?
Ta-da!
55 inch.
55, 31, 24, 17.
It's braced with adamantium. This is Wolverine's claws. This is Wolverine. Jeez, man.
It's serious. Like, Americans will be proud of it. American military
yeah, because we have to.
proud of this.
In America, we have to be able to bang our monitors
That's
a lot.
right.
So it's like,
well, you know, when you rent a car, that's the one you do burnouts in.
Yeah.
And people rent these big monitors.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Yeah.
But this is 1,000 nits, 512 zones, 100% DCI P3, so you got wide color, and we're shining a massive torch on it, but in 0 to 1,000,000 gradations of grey.
That's insane.
It's a ridiculous solution for seeing it. Look at that detail.
4K 60, the whole nine. I mean, this is the top of anything you've made, pretty much.
And, and this is the only panel in the world that is. Look at that viewing angle. It's IPS,
you can see it on everything.
Every
yeah.
angle. So why is that important? Actually, I think my phone. Hang on, I lost my phone.
I love you, Jeremy.
That's mine.
pictures.
Lucky.
Look at this guy. Well, that's really important because you're gonna have a lot of people viewing this at once. So from every spot, there's no blind spot to it.
And there's a Ninja module sitting there on the back. So
there is.
It records, it monitors, it plays back, it does everything a Ninja does. The S1H, you can hook it directly into this. You can be monitoring on this.
This is amazing. Availability.
So this will be end of the year. The 31 at the same time. 17 and 24 are shipping this month.
Okay.
So they'll be in Adorama's shop at the end of September.
Nice one. Price point.
Price point. So this one is 17 grand.
Okay.
It goes 8 grand for 7,999 for the 31. You got to compare that to a 40 grand Sony X300, right?
Right.
So this is the best bang for buck, plus it records and monitors and plays back all of your Atomos files from any solution.
And it's Atomos branded. I mean, you know you can rely on it.
Absolutely, and we built it from scratch, right? We really took a big project on here. The 17 and 24 are real workhorses, so your gaffer is going to use that, but it's the same panel as the Shogun, it's the same panel as the Ninja,
right?
And it goes right up to 55, and you can trust it, because Netflix came to us. So you want endorsement? Netflix came to us and said, let's make some big monitors. So we did. And then they said, you've got to have Dolby approval.
Yeah.
So we went and got that for the output.
Yeah.
And we're just in the middle of getting the final Dolby approval for the screen. Now, because only TVs are approved at the moment to be Dolby Vision, right? Production equipment, they never thought anyone would go that far.
Everything's got to match. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's creative intent is what the Netflix guys wanted. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
The Apple guys, Amazon.
Yeah, but Netflix is like the standard right now. Like everyone's saying that, like we're Netflix approved. We're Netflix approved. Red was saying that forever, that they're Netflix approved. Like it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Well, it just means you can pick that piece of kit up, and if your TV series or your documentary hits it out of the park, then you're right there being able to be picked up by the biggest players.
Yeah, fewer and fewer people are actually on TV itself. Now everyone's going on Netflix and payable services like that. So that's where everything is going towards. Everyone's making content hoping to be on Netflix. And if you're not approved with the gear, how are you ever going to get there? So you're getting your stamps left and right. And you said this was a huge mountain to climb. You're always, I mean, every year we see you, it's like, oh, I did the impossible again. It's like,
and I got to say, it's our great people, man. When anyone can have the ideas, and you get momentum in those ideas, and then you learn what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, then I go on and go, well, I think you can.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. And then we work together on it. And it's a small team. You know, Atomos is 80 people globally.
That's amazing.
We put engineering in Japan for design. We do manufacturing in Taiwan, Thailand, and China.
There's no fractured communication. You're all one unit going forward.
And our sales teams we're down in Brooklyn, and we come and see you guys all the time. Because why wouldn't you be in Brooklyn? It's the coolest place to be. It's awesome.
This is amazing, and I think it really tests me, because you can put out a camera like the S1H, but if you can't get the full potential out of it, what's the point, right?
That's right.
So good job, as always. And next year, I'm sure you'll be showing me something that's
110 inch.
Yeah, it's not going to fit here. Thanks so much for your time, Jeremy.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Adorama.com.
So I'm here at the Zoom booth with Sam, and we're fans of Zoom. We actually use the F4 in our event space for live streams and for our podcast. But this is the F6, and there's some really crazy features you're telling me here.
Yeah, indeed. So this is almost like the next step up from the F4 before you get to things like the F8N, which is obviously the bigger model. So the F6 is brand new. It's coming out in about a month's time. And basically what this does, it records in 32-bit float. So what that means is there's two AD converters, which one handles the low range and one handles the high dynamic range. It basically means that you can't clip the unit.
So that's unlimited dynamic range, as you put it.
Pretty much so, yeah. So basically, to give you an example, if someone was to shout into a microphone and on the VU meters it was all in the red and clipping, in post-production you can just bring that down and the clipping's gone.
That's insane.
And the same works for the other way. So for example, if you're doing an interview with someone and they're speaking way too quietly and you forget to turn the gain up and you've got the gain on pretty much 0, in post-production you can see your file and you can raise it by, well, 90 plus 90 dB, and it will still keep, there won't be any noise or artifacts or anything like that. It will keep the audio intact.
So you've killed the term trashed audio.
Pretty much so, yeah. We hope, yeah, we hope.
All right, so how many inputs, what do we got?
Yeah, so we've got 6 inputs, 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. There is time code, which is on the back there, so it generates its own time code, but it also can sync from another source as well.
Okay.
Obviously you've got headphone output and a line output. So the F6 takes there's 3 different ways of powering the unit. So you can use AA batteries and it takes 4 of them.
Okay.
Or there's a Sony L series battery pack.
That's awesome.
On the back, and it also can be powered by USB-C. If you've got some kind of power bank, then
that's awesome. It's super small and light, packable.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You can put it on your belt. It comes with, there'll be a little bag available for it, so you can just have it sort of down here and you control. And the great thing is, it's really for people who are, I guess, like one-man shooters.
Yeah.
Who don't have to stress about getting all the levels perfect, because even if the worst happens and you leave a channel turned off, it will still record.
What?
Yeah, but they'll be in post. It'll look like there's nothing there. But then you can just raise it all the way up. It's obviously, we'd rather you didn't do that, because that's worst case scenario.
So there's unicorn blood coursing through this, is that what you're telling me?
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
Availability, is that a month?
About a month,
and
4 to 6 weeks.
Price point, roughly?
$699.
That's super affordable for never having trashed audio, that's insane. Awesome, well done.
Thank you.
So this is replacing the F4?
Yes, this will be replacing the F4. Yeah. So the F4, as far as I'm aware, is discontinued now. So the only F series we have at the moment is the F1, the F6, and the F8N.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, man. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, and you. Thank you.